the issue of the pleasure. That is interesting. The society is a society totally based on pleasure. Pleasure is our motto. Why? Because our real nature is bliss. Bliss is what you really are. As an ego, identified with the body, you confuse bliss with something physiologic. And pleasure is physiologic. And everybody's crazy after pleasure. Then we create a society based on pleasure. You like. If you create something that can give pleasure to people, you can be a millionaire. Friendship is on the base of pleasure. And many relations. But we have two sides to this issue of the pleasure. The internal and the external. The subjective and the objective. In the subjective level, you have desires for different pleasures. And you are accustomed to cultivate the desire. We practice a life of desire. We fulfill desires, run after the repetition of pleasure. It's not only pleasure. We try to repeat it and repeat it and repeat this experience of pleasure. We not only pursue pleasure, we pursue the repetition of pleasant moments. When you cultivate desire freely, when you think about the pleasure you receive from senses, you fortify these desires, and desires multiply. More and more desires. A diversity of desires. Then what happens? You begin to create an internal chaos, disorder, internally. Why? Because when there are many desires, and strong desires, when you run after pleasure, they begin to collide one with the other. I have a desire for health, but I have a desire for whiskey. Like that, desires begin to be in conflict one with the other. And both of them are strong. I have a strong desire for health, but I have a strong desire for whiskey. I have a strong desire for marijuana, for cigarettes, for things, but I want health. I want money, fame, but I want to be with my family. Two desires that are in conflict one with the other. They cannot harmonize. It's impossible. Is one in account of the other. They will not succeed, both of them. I will not be able to achieve the goal of both desires, or money and fame, career, or time to be with my children, my wife, etc. Both of them not possible most of the times. Yeah? So desires, a life based on the what people call wrongly freedom. I cultivate desires. I maintain desires and multiply the desires. Don't leave me to freedom, leave me to chaos and disorder. And remember, when desires for pleasure, they multiply themselves, only one will achieve the goal in account of the other. One of them should die. One of them should be sacrificed. And internally, we live in a constant conflict, a war. This conflict is projected in society. And when you have many individuals, that every one of them have a lot of desires, in conflict one with the others, your desires begin to be in conflict with my desires for pleasure. And our desires will be in conflict with your desire for pleasure. And then same thing will happen. It's inevitable. Or you fulfill your desires and I suffer, or I fulfill my desire and you will suffer. You go to beautiful hotels, 5 stars, incredible buildings. You enjoy. But you're not able even to think how many people, sometimes from other countries, work like almost slavery to build these buildings. Sometimes you don't pay attention in different countries. Immigrants from other countries work there to serve you in your table and work in eternity of hours with very small salary to send to their families. So much suffering. And you fulfill your desires. You enjoy your pleasure. People buy clothes. Consumerism, clothes and clothes. And in China, somebody killed himself because cannot, in Singapore, Thailand, works hours and hours and hours. They live near to the place where they do the clothes. They live there years without one day of vacations until they kill themselves, and they work for cents to keep their families. And what is the prostitution? Is not to fulfill your pleasure, desires, in account of the pain and the suffering of other people. And that is the conflict in society. That is a projection of your internal life. Pleasure is the base of society. People move running after pleasure. Pleasure makes you more animal, less human, because it's instinct. And when something is really, really give you pleasure, so much pleasure that what happens, you cannot separate of it. Whenever a person or an object or whatever give you pleasure, you cannot separate from it. That means that at the moment that something give you such a pleasure and you are not able to give it up, you lose your freedom. It's not that you have that possession has you. You are a slave. A person who is addicted to pleasure cannot love. It's not possible. Because it's after pleasure. Looks the world and life and people and everything in that way. For that kind of people, the world is a field of exploitation. Exploitators and exploited. Whatever he sees, what can I receive from him? Money, energy, attention, warmth, whatever. And I cannot love because every person and everything stop to be a goal by itself, but only a meaning to achieve a goal. That is pleasure. I don't love you, but I am so attached to the pleasure I receive when I am with you. And I see people only in relation to the pleasure I can derive from that association, from that friendship. And all the world I look like that. And the most terrible, that at the end, I even cannot stay in the moment. I cannot stay in this moment, because even this moment is a mean to achieve certain pleasure in the next. I become directed to the future, to the tomorrow, to the next moment. I cannot take nothing. Like Krishna said to Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, do it, but don't do it thinking about the result. Stop thinking about the gain or loss. Do it only because love to the action itself. That is, you cannot stay in this moment. Why? Because the love to this moment, and not because the pleasure I will derive, because then trees are not trees anymore, but only a tool to receive some pleasure. The birds are not anymore there as birds, as a goal in itself. The sunset is not there as a goal in itself. Everything becomes a tool, a mean to achieve pleasure, to repeat this pleasure, pleasant experiences. And the other is there only in order to give you some pleasure. It's a mean. Real life is to experience a being, a tree, a moment in totality, and that is meditation. To be able to sit and experience this moment as the goal in itself. Because this moment is life. And life is everything. It's not a mean to achieve something else. This moment is life. And life can never be a mean. Life can never be a tool to something else. Because except life, there is nothing here. When you look at life as a mean or a tool to achieve some pleasure, you live in illusion. Meditation is to see it in this moment and to go deep in this moment. And this moment is everything. There is nothing but this moment. Then you open an alternative, an option to meet life, of a meeting in this moment, because life and existence don't know any other time and any other place than now and here. Is the only time is now. The only place that now is here. Is the only point where can be a meeting with existence. Don't miss life. That is the sadness of the ego. The ego only go and miss life every single moment. In the book Bereshit, Genesis, the divine looking after Adam. Ayeka, where are you? Yes, You think you are a spiritual seeker, but the reality is that life looking after you. Is you the one who is not? Is you the one who is absent? Everything is here. Everything is here. But you are in your nostalgies and memories, and in your hopes and dreams. And life waits for you. These birds wait for you. The trees wait for you. The silence of this moment wait for you. And you are in some histories, an expectation for certain pleasure that you want to repeat it from your past. You know where you are? You are in the past, memories that you enjoyed 20 years ago, and now you want to reproduce it in some future, in the next moment. And life waits for you with magic. In this instant. When you reproduce the pleasure to meet that person that week ago you feel so amazing, so now I will go to reproduce that pleasure, you take the moment and you project the old, your memory, your past, that past joy, you go and make old moments. You project on the moment. Meditation is to sit and to be so open, so accessible, that this instant rape you. This moment catch you totally by surprise, unexpected. Happens sometime that you was in some place, totally distracted, unexpected. A moment that you didn't run after pleasure. And then some evening, some night, some sunset, some sand, not with somebody or something that you think, no, maybe you was even alone. And some instant possess you, always by surprise. And for the first time you experience that happiness that you don't know why you are happy. That you enjoy so much and you cannot understand what is the source of the pleasure. That is meditation.